I guess senior's not too bad.
Yeah, there you go.
So today I'm going to be speaking about, for the love of our country, why every American boy should do at least a minimum of 2 years in our military service, whether that's reserve, active, and it don't matter really. I currently serve in the Marine Corps Reserve, so I can firsthand acknowledge how much experience I've gained, whether it's work experience or just some growing up to do, I guess you want to say. The biggest thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of benefits and a lot of reasons why there's actually a variety of, there's come from the first reasons I'm going to talk about is education. A lot of people complain about education, not getting the scholarship, not getting the benefits. You join the military, you automatically get approved for the GI Bill. I mean, it pays for your school. You join the reserves, it pays for half your school. Still does a lot of benefits and a lot of perks of that. Health insurance. Health insurance also comes with TRICARE. If you're in the reserve, you pay only, a couple bucks for full coverage. That's one of the biggest perks I've noticed. A lot of people I've heard paying, for a family of 4, paying like $1,500 a month. So TRICARE, you're paying a couple $100, so that's a big difference. The next thing is crime rate. And the drug usage. Like how he's talking about steroids. A lot of kids out nowadays, they're out and doing drugs, out partying, which is, I guess, now in today's society is no big deal nowadays. So the military really cracks down on drug uses and drug testing. So every time I go to drill, there's a random drug test, a random drug screening. I haven't seen too many Marines get knocked out for that, but in the 4 years that I've been so far, I've seen about 2. So it's pretty reasonable out of 500 Marines that I see cycle every year or something. Other countries like China, Iran, Israel, they all have obligatory military service. Usually it's men and female. So here I'm imposing just males. Women will be voluntary if they choose to. I know now they're trying to speak about like a draft and with women included. That might be a little outrageous, but if it happens, I guess it happens. So the thing I'm imposing is if two years minimum as a requirement with Sorry, I'm blank on that one. That's all I got, guys. Sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to remind people, Ken is doing the written evaluation. Emily's supposed to do the oral evaluation. Emily, what did you think?
I think you should prepare your speech more and give more personal examples or more examples, and you need to control your anxiety because I've seen that you move back and forth with your feet a lot. But overall, you did good.
You were working pretty well up until the point where you just kind of bailed out on the speech. It wasn't perfect, but I thought you had some interesting content here. There's almost a structure where you basically are talking about what the benefits are. There's education, there's health insurance. I guess it keeps you off drugs, so that's a good thing. So there's a little bit of a structure there. There's not really a preview of what the structure is going to be, but we can follow what the benefits are, at least as you presented them. The idea that this is comparable and it's workable because other countries do this, I think, is an interesting one. But I do think you need to show that it's practical. I don't know what China's military service is like. Israel, of course, they have a high need for a lot of folks, and I'm not exactly sure that Iran is an example that most people would find really relatable to us. Let's take, the idea that you're talking about. If it's 2 years of service, typically when people get out of high school, so you're talking about 18, 19-year-olds at that particular level. Well, how many people is that every year? That would be the first question I have, because that might far exceed the number of people that the military could accommodate in a practical way. When you have a draft, everybody thinks about, the draft, but the draft means some people are going, not everybody's going. You're saying everybody goes, and I'm not sure that the military can accommodate everybody. What the benefits have to be? If you're getting this mandatory military service, why do we have to give benefits anymore? I mean, it seems to me like if you don't need an incentive to encourage people because they're required to do it. Maybe it's a reward for people to do some things, that there'd be a benefit on that. So it just seems a little under thought out. The idea that there's a value to doing it, I like that idea. And what can people learn from that? And I think you've got some good personal experience that you're talking about there. Kinds of things that you've learned. I think you could use some examples, some personal examples about that. How are you more responsible than you once were? How are you more prepared or organized or thoughtful or whatever it is that you think is going to be of value? How have you matured a little bit as a result of this experience? Not just, I got my health benefits, because heck, you could stay on your parents' insurance till you're 26 and keep those health benefits. What do we need to get you in the, maybe we should have you go in the military when you turn 26, and then you got that 2-year transition to new health benefits or something. That doesn't tell me what it is that somebody gets from this. It's just, it's like we talked about. It's a reward for that sort of thing. It's not the kind of thing that tells me here's why a person would want this to be the case. It's an ancillary sort of thing instead of the essential sort of thing, and I think you need to develop those essentials a lot more. Like I said, your first-hand experience is okay, but I think you need a lot more research to support those positions as well. The delivery issues, I didn't think you looked overly nervous. I didn't notice, you're not always relaxed, but you are speaking fluently for the most part. You have a few gestures that you're looking at. You tend to look at us, even though I can tell sometimes you're thinking, where's the script in my head? It's kind of like you're seeing it in your head a little bit. But I think usually you're looking up and out at us. So it's not perfect when it comes to delivery, but it's solid. I don't think that that's the biggest issue here. It's the content that needs to be developed. And practice and rehearsal, again. A lot of people are in this situation that they are going through this today, and it really feels like it's rough draft time as opposed to polished version time. And you don't want to be... It should be the polished version that we're getting at this point. This is your chance to shine and show everybody, here's what I've managed to accomplish in the 15 weeks we've been here. And I don't think you're giving us a little bit, and we want more. And then you want to be fair to yourself in that situation. All right. Mayor